Hello, and welcome to my last vlog post. Again, I'm Audrey. The last vlog post prompting questions were: return to your original thinking and possibly your KWL chart. What has changed for you? What realizations have you had? What strategies have you used or will use? And how have you met your goals? What is your next goal? When I went back to watch my first vlog regarding a reflective practice, I was pleasantly surprised that I'd actually come up with ways in which I could reach my goals of reflective practice. Reflective practice is a tool for improving your learning both as a student and in relation to your work and life experiences. Although it will take some time to adopt the technique of reflective practice, I think it'll ultimately save me some time and energy in the future as a teacher. In learning about reflective practice, I came across a graphic that I found extremely beneficial and I will keep posted in my classroom for years to come. The graphic I found outlines the reflective learning process. The first step is to identify a situation that you have encountered in your work or personal life that you believe could have been dealt with more effectively, therefore saving you some time and energy. The reflective learning process identifies a multitude of questions that you might want to ask yourself while taking part in this particular situation. The questions to ask yourself include first, describing the experience. What happened? When and where did the situation occur? Any other thoughts you might have about the situation? So when applying this back to teaching, I would think about maybe a lesson that didn't go so well, having the children sitting on the carpet if you teach primary. What if they're disengaged? Go back to the experience, describe it. What happened? Why? And try to figure out why the students were disengaged. Then, reflection. How did you behave as a teacher in this situation? What thoughts did you have at that time? How did it make you feel? And were there other factors that influenced the situation? What have you learned from the experience? This part is important to do then and there. I don't think it'd be very easy to reflect on a lesson days past because we all know that teaching for even a week, all the days meld together and it's hard to remember every lesson in particular. So I think it's important to do this step right then and there. Then you have theorizing. How did the experience match your preconceived ideas? Was the outcome expected or unexpected? Did the students completely not understand what was happening? Did you expect that from them? Did they not understand the content you were trying to teach them? How does it relate to any formal theories that you know? Is there a reason the kids aren't understanding your lesson? Are you using different learning styles? Are you just talking at the children? Could you include other things such as visuals or make the lesson more interactive? What behaviors do you think might have changed the outcome? What could you have done as a teacher to change the outcome of that lesson? And finally, the experimentation process. Is there anything you could do or say now to change the outcome? What actions can you take to change similar reactions in the future? And what behaviors might you try out? So in teaching, I don't think there's anything you could do now to change a situation other than teaching that lesson again if it didn't go so well. But I think it's important to experiment with different things to see what works and what doesn't with that particular class. Something that has changed for me is that I cannot look past situations and experience so critically. For example, during my placements, both of my associate teachers explained to me that they couldn't give me all level 4s in all categories. At first, I criticized myself, trying to think of ways that I could have changed this outcome. I now realize that if my associate teachers have both given me level 4s in all categories, then there would have been no room for growth and improvement for me. It's important to realize that there's always room for development and progression, and knowing this and being cognizant of this fact can be beneficial in the long run, while attempting to make lifelong changes in your teaching. I learned this through reflective practice. Some of the realizations that I have made throughout this course and while reading through the content of this course are that reflective practice is a crucial part of teaching and learning. Before this course, I knew what it meant to be reflective, but had trouble understanding why my associate teacher needed me to reflect on every single lesson that I taught. I thought it was so daunting to sit there at the end of the day and go through that entire day over and over. After having spent 6 weeks with my associate teacher and 9 weeks in this course, I now understand the value and significance of reflective practice. Some of the strategies that I've used in my practice have been to record my teaching and then go over it later to delve into questioning strategies that I might have used, or the level of engagement of my students. I noticed that sometimes when I was teaching, it's really hard if you don't know the content very well to make sure that you're paying attention to the level of engagement of the students. I have recorded notes and taken anecdotal notes of what I could be changed or improved upon while supervising an activity within my classroom. I found that when I was reminded of what to work on as a goal, I was thinking of these things during my lesson, and it was easier to implement the changes rather than simply making a plan to implement the changes at a later date. I believe that I have met my goal for this course in that I now know that reflective practice must take part in every moment of every day while teaching. There is not one subject that is more important than the other, and teachers must learn to make reflection part of their every hour of every day. I do, however, believe that reflection is an ongoing process, and that I will never be fully perfect reflective practitioner. According to test results from the textbook, I started the course in the action stage of the reflective practicing, and I will end this course in the action stage. I look forward to moving on from the action stage, but I also think that it makes sense that I've stayed here, considering that I am not a perfect reflective practitioner and there is definitely room for growth and improvement.